Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Baddies USA Chapter 2, Episode 13. So let's just get right into it because a lot happened in this episode. So this episode picks up where the last one left off, where the baddies are at the club dancing, drinking, having a really good time for Tavii's birthday, and Lex and Tavii were dancing together, having a good time, which was nice to see because I don't really feel like we need to see them fight again. But I'm glad that Tavii was actually able to have a good birthday this time because last year Lex gave her a birthday she would never forget. But all of a sudden, while everybody's dancing, having a good time, Cold Killer just tases Tinka in the club. Now, I don't even know how she got a taser into the club. I don't understand why she was not checked. I think it's crazy that she tased that girl. Like, I feel like that's taking things way too far. I understand that she's mad that her face got fractured, but if she knows that she can't really fight, then she shouldn't be trying to fight people that are bigger than her. But not only did Tinka get tased by Cold Killer, but Summer also threw a bottle at her in the club, which I thought was crazy. And what's even crazier is that she's not getting any backlash from the fans for throwing this bottle. She's actually getting a lot of support for throwing the bottle, and people are laughing at it, saying that Tinka deserved it because they don't like Tinka, and I think that's crazy. Because it's showing just how biased a lot of the fans are, because when Summer was with the big three, when she was cool with Dolly and Lex and she threw a bottle in the club, everybody was dragging all of the big three for that, saying that they were wrong and that was dangerous. Now Tinka gets tased and a bottle thrown at her by Summer, and everybody makes it seem like it's not a big deal because they don't like Tinka. So it was wrong for Lex to spit on Fauna. We all agree that that was nasty and she shouldn't have done it, but it's not wrong for Cold Killer to tase Tinka in the neck in the club and for Summer to throw an entire liquor bottle at her that could have hit the girl in the head and sent her to the hospital. It's okay for that to happen, but Lex gets dragged for 2 weeks straight for spitting on Fauna, who used mace on her, and Fauna's also somebody who spit as well on Tavii. So I just think that's crazy, the double standards on this show and how biased people can actually be. So Rolly ends up meeting up with TeeTee and Mariahlynn to talk about everything that's been going on, and obviously they talk about Ciroc sneaking Mariahlynn in last week's episode. And usually I'm not for sneaking. I don't agree with sneaking, especially not somebody as small like Mariah and somebody who can't fight like Mariah. But I don't feel like Ciroc was wrong because Mariahlynn ended up throwing a shoe at Ciroc unprovoked a couple of episodes back, so she got what she deserved from Ciroc. And I was getting annoyed during this conversation because Mariahlynn kept talking about how big Ciroc is compared to her, and it's like, I hate when somebody's skinny and small and they constantly are trying to beef with somebody bigger than them, and then when the person that's bigger than them fights back, then all of a sudden that person's too big to be putting their hands on them. It's like, no. Mariahlynn knew Ciroc was bigger than her when she threw that shoe at her, so now all of a sudden she's trying to play a victim. Girl, bye. Rolly started talking about replacements and some girls needing to go home, and it's like, she says this every single season, but even if they do bring somebody extra in, nobody ends up going home, so I don't see the point in calling anybody a replacement because they're not really replacing anybody if nobody goes home. Now, Dolly, Lex, and Tavii end up having a meetup in this episode, which was actually a little bit surprising, but it was a little refreshing for me to see because I actually like them being cool with Tavii now. I'm not really a big fan of Tavii, but I do like that they're getting along with Tavii because they fought so much during Baddies Africa and after that we don't need to see it again. And Lex was even nice enough to actually get Tavii a good gift this year. She got her a cake and a gift bag, and then she also brought her a balloon. I thought that was sweet, and Tavii seemed to really like it. But they start talking about the beef between Fauna and Lex said that she's done fighting with Fauna. She said that she doesn't have anything left to do with Fauna because they already fought over the last thing they had to fight about, which was the whole mace situation. And people were trying to make it seem like Dolly was coming for Lex, and I'm like, you guys want to see these girls fall out so badly. All Dolly was saying to Lex was she may be done with the situation, but Fauna's clearly not over it because she got spit on, so she's going to want to fight Lex again. So even though Lex doesn't want to fight Fauna again because she doesn't feel like it's necessary, Fauna's gonna end up trying to fight her, and they are gonna end up fighting again because Fauna's not done. That's all Dolly was saying to Lex, but people made it seem like she was coming for Lex, and it's like, no, y'all just want to see the two of them fall out with each other. So Biggie, Diamond, Neek, and Kanaya end up meeting up with each other, and honestly, Biggie was kind of making me laugh a little bit because she was eating these fried shrimp, and anytime one of the girls joined them for the meeting, she started telling them that she tried to save them some shrimp, but there was none left while she was actively eating the damn shrimp. I'm like, Biggie, okay. I mean, hey, maybe she was hungry, and maybe she was taking advantage of the fact that they can finally sit down and eat this time, because any other time they go to a restaurant and they have these meetings with each other, a fight breaks out and they never actually get to eat. But Biggie does does start telling them about the situation between her and TeeTee, and she's claiming that before TeeTee's friend ever hit her, that her and TeeTee were already on rocky ground with each other because they were already having issues that we didn't know about. But she did say that she feels set up. She continuously keeps saying that she feels like TeeTee and Mariahlynn set her up to get hit by TeeTee's friend. Now, I don't necessarily feel like they knew that TeeTee's friend was going to hit Biggie, but I do feel like it was going to be like a verbal ambush. I feel like they were going to kind of gang up on Biggie a little bit in the conversation because the rumors they heard about her hanging out with Ciroc. So I do think that they went into this meeting with Biggie knowing that they were going to confront her about some things. I just don't think that they necessarily knew that TeeTee's friend was going to hit Biggie. I'll say this though, Biggie kind of confuses me a little bit because when it's drama that's about her, she tries to make it seem like she's above it and she doesn't want anything to do with it. But then during the sit down, she was smack dab in the middle between Kanaya and Neek's drama. Like she was narrating the whole thing and it's like she wasn't trying to mediate the situation. She was kind of egging on the drama. And so Kanaya and Neek start going back and forth with each other. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of tune out the cabaret girls when they're beefing with each other because I did not watch Jocelyn's show, so I don't know the beef between them. All I know is that the only cabaret girl that I like so far that's came into this season is Kanaya. She seems like the only likable one for me. But Hurricane M and TeeTee also end up having a meetup, and this time it's without Pressure being there, and I'm glad that Pressure wasn't there because she probably would have made it turn into a physical fight where it didn't need to go to. So I was glad it was just the two of them. But I feel like TeeTee went into this not wanting to hear anything that Hurricane M had to say. I feel like she already made up her mind and she already realized that she does not want to be friends with Hurricane M anymore. M did start telling TeeTee that she realized that she did not do enough for TeeTee on the bus, but that she was doing something. She was trying to break it up, and she did get into a physical fight when she was trying to break up one of the fights, which is true. She was trying to break up the fight between, I think, Ivory and TeeTee, and then all of a sudden, Diamond just starts hitting her, so the two of them started fighting with each other. I do understand that TeeTee wants to feel like her friend has her back, especially in a place like Baddies, where you can get fought, snuck, or anything at any point in time, but I also feel like she's not hearing Hurricane M out. Because I just feel like Pressure was right there having TeeTee's back, so I just felt like it wasn't really necessary for Hurricane M to get involved. Maybe she could have got involved a little bit more when it was Ciroc and Tavii fighting TeeTee. That's when she could have done something, really. But when it came to Ivory and Diamond versus TeeTee and Pressure, I don't feel like there was anything for, Hurricane M to really do. But after all these little meetings, the baddies actually end up going line dancing, which was supposed to be fun. And some of the girls, the first batch that showed up to do the line dancing, they were having fun and they were doing the line dancing. They were dancing to Diamond's song. But once some of the other girls started walking into the room, that's when things got crazy and the dancing was over. Because Dolly showed up dressed to fight. I mean, everybody else was dressed up to go out, and Dolly had on some shorts, some sneakers. She had a hat on, no wig. It didn't even look like she had any makeup on. She was there ready to fight. And honestly, at first, I didn't know who she was there to fight because I didn't know that she had any active beef with anybody. But when ET walked in, Dolly immediately walked up on her. So I'm like, okay, at this point, they must have been going back and forth on social media because I thought the beef between the two of them was over and done with. And the sad part is ET actually looked really cute when she showed up to line dancing. But as soon as Dolly walked up on her, she kicked her shoes off, she took her wig off, and the two of them started fighting. They fought 2 rounds, and honestly, I felt like both rounds were a tie. I don't feel like either one of them really did any damage to the other. So to me, it was a tie. I do watch the fights in slow motion. That's just my opinion. I don't think either one of them really did that much in these fights. But then things started to escalate a little bit because I don't know what Dolly picked up. It looked like it was a cord or something, and she had it in her hand, and security tried to take it from her, but she was not trying to let it go. So she was like whipping the security guard with this wire that she had. And then I think ET picked up a fan and she threw it at Dolly. I'm like, damn, they're tearing this damn place up. They're supposed to be in there line dancing, not fighting. But then after the fight, everybody starts dancing to Biggie's song and we think everything's back on track. But then Ciroc, TeeTee, and Pressure show up, and you know that when Pressure shows up somewhere, there's going to be some drama. So because Dolly realizes that both Ciroc, Biggie, and Mariahlynn are all in the same room, she brings up the drama between Biggie, Mariahlynn, and TeeTee because everybody's ready to get to the bottom of what really happened. Now, Biggie's saying that she never met up and had a private conversation with Ciroc before that sit-down that she had with TeeTee, her friend, and Mariahlynn. But Mariah's claiming that a credible source told them that Biggie was seen out out hanging with Ciroc, and Biggie saying that it's not true. And I just feel like Mariah wanted to believe something negative about Biggie because she already wasn't feeling Biggie, and that's why she's running with this. But while Mariahlynn and Biggie are having this conversation, Amber ends up walking in, okay? And she stands next to Pressure. And all of a sudden, Pressure just pops Amber right in the face out of nowhere. And I thought that was crazy because I didn't think they had any beef with each other, but Pressure got in her confessional and she claims that before they ended up showing up to go line dancing, Amber called her up and ended up asking her if she could walk into line dancing with her and TeeTee, and Pressure told her no because she heard that Amber had been talking about her behind her back. But I feel like Amber didn't know that there was an issue between her and Pressure, because I feel like if she knew there was an issue, I don't think she would have stood next to Pressure, because everybody knows that Pressure will swing on you out of nowhere. But while this is going on, Mariahlynn and Biggie are still going back and forth about the whole situation, and Ciroc clears it up really quickly. She said basically that the only time that her and Biggie ever met up was after Taseki's friend already attacked Biggie. They never met up and hung out with each other or had a conversation before Taseki's friend had attacked Biggie. Everything between them happened after Biggie was already touched by Taseki's friend. So whatever source Mariah has was a liar. Basically, they're saying that it was this photographer that's really messy and he takes the pictures of the baddies and he's the one that told them this information. It was all over the blogs a few weeks ago. I don't really want to go back and look at it, but I'm pretty sure it was him that went back and told them that he saw them together. So Mariah's sitting there looking stupid, and Biggie's trying to ask her if she's going to apologize to her, and Mariahlynn tells her that they can talk off camera. And I was not feeling that, because if you're going to accuse her on camera of doing something and then you find out from the other person that it's not true, why don't you apologize to them on camera so it can show that you have some type of integrity? So it's giving that Mariahlynn just doesn't like Biggie and she wanted to believe something negative about Biggie. Mariahlynn reminds me of those girls in high school where they're friends with somebody who's really popular and they want to stay on that person's good side and they want to be like the closest, most realist person to them. So when a new friend comes along, they try to swoop in and they try to tell you all the negative things about this person so that you're not cool with them no more. That's what it seems like Mariahlynn's doing. Like, she wants to be really cool with Taseki, and so anybody that comes into Taseki's life, she's going to overanalyze them and then go to Taseki with any little bad thing she hears about them. But Pressure and Amber end up fighting with each other, and honestly, neither one of them really did anything. Neither one of them can really fight to me, but I will say Amber's lip was bleeding, so one of Pressure's hits definitely did connect. But I'm sorry, I don't really like Amber, but she's funny to me. I feel like she makes really good TV, because after she finished fighting Pressure, she said that she was going outside to the car to get her helmet. And I'm like, what kind of fucking helmet is she talking about? Like, damn, ever since Taseki cracked her in her face with that one hit, now she has to wear a helmet anytime she comes to fight. And Kanaya goes outside to check on Amber, which I thought was really nice. And Amber seemed to really appreciate that because she probably feels alone on this show, like she doesn't have anybody. So I did think that it was cool that Kanaya did that. Amber saying that she didn't say anything bad about Pressure. She said that the only thing that she did say was that being friends with Pressure is hard because she wants to get to know the other girls, but because Pressure's beefing with everybody, it's hard for her to get to know everybody. I mean, if she did say that, I don't feel like that's that bad of a thing to say, but that's something that she could have said to Pressure's face, not behind her back. But while this is going on, Pressure is inside while they're trying to line dance, asking if anybody wants to get to know her, and it's like, girl, it's too late for that. And Pressure and Tavii start going back and forth with each other about their beef, but they both agreed that they were not going to fight again because they already did it and it's no point. But that did not last really long, because when Tavii and TeeTee start going back and forth, Tavii ends up claiming that she put money in TeeTee's pocket, and TeeTee said that that's not true, that they have the same manager. So if they both went to a booking together, it's because they have the same manager. I really don't know what to believe in this situation. I'm more inclined to believe TeeTee though, because I feel like if they have the same manager, I don't feel like that's necessarily, you know, Tavii putting money in TeeTee's pocket. Unless Tavii was the one that had the booking and she invited TeeTee to come make the money with her, then that's her putting money in TeeTee's pocket. But if it came through the manager, I don't feel like it had anything to do with Tavii. But we all know that Tavii likes to talk with her hands. She's very dramatic with her hands when she talks. She's from New York, so that's not surprising, but she was moving her hands in the direction of Pressure, and Pressure felt some type of way about that, even though Tavii was arguing with TeeTee. Now, I feel like Pressure was just looking for a reason to fight, because Pressure was standing far away from Tavii to where Tavii's hands hands would never even touch Pressure, so why she felt threatened by that was crazy to me. But the two of them start fighting with each other, and Tavii worked Pressure real quick. I feel like that was an easy win because Pressure cannot fight. That girl is big for nothing. So then TeeTee and Tavii start fighting with each other, and this time Tavii wasn't really able to get TeeTee the way that she wanted to because security was kind of in the way. The fact that she was able to really get like that with Pressure though, and she wasn't with TeeTee, is crazy because Pressure's bigger than TeeTee. Amber comes running into the room with a helmet on, and she hops in the air trying to hit Pressure, and she gets scooped up by security real quick. This show cannot be fucking real. I mean, what the hell has Natalie put in front of us? Because this cannot be real. But Biggie decides that she's over the drama, and so she decides to leave. And as she's walking out of the door, Amber attacks her out of nowhere, which I thought was crazy because she doesn't even have any beef with Biggie. And I thought the person that she would go after is Pressure because Pressure just popped her in the face. Or maybe even ET because of the way that ET snuck her a few episodes back. But the fact that she went after Biggie was honestly weak to me. And even Lex, who slapped Biggie in the face at last year's reunion, asked Amber why she attacked Biggie because it didn't make any sense. But what Lex said in her confessional about Biggie is right. Biggie needs to start defending herself. She doesn't have to be a fighter, but she needs to make it clear that you cannot just walk up to me and start putting your hands on me and I'm not going to do anything. It's crazy that people have been attacking that girl for seasons after seasons and she doesn't do anything. They keep doing it to her because they know she's an easy target. And whether she's on Baddies or not, she needs to learn to defend herself because out there in the real world, people will do some crazy shit like that to you, especially because you're a public figure now. But Zeus production ain't shit because they sat up there and added all the times that Biggie got slapped or attacked by somebody, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy, but it was a lot. Amber is funny to me though. Even though I didn't like what she did to Biggie, she's funny because after she attacked Biggie, she said that her lip was leaning and she needed some ice and she got up out of there, and that shit was funny to me. I'm sorry. Amber and Biggie are outside going back and forth because both of them are leaving, and Lex goes outside and she sees Amber arguing with Biggie, and she ends up asking Amber why she would attack Biggie when there's other people inside that she could have fought because Pressure just snuck her. And I'm glad that Kanaya also said something to Amber because they left together and she told Amber in the car that it was really weird for her to attack Biggie of all people, and it was. Mariahlynn and Biggie are outside going back and forth though because Mariahlynn's trying to make it a point to make it seem like she's really cool with Biggie and she really does care about her because when Amber snuck her, she ran over there to try to get in there. And it's like she did run over there, but I felt like it was performative because she was just treating Biggie like shit. Now all of a sudden you see somebody attack her and you want to run over there and try to do something. It's giving performing for the cameras. So she starts telling Biggie that she defended her, but that when Ciroc attacked her in last week's episode, Biggie was nowhere to be found. And it's like, duh, she wasn't there. And I mean, I don't understand why Mariahlynn's bringing this up because Tasiki was there and Tasiki was the one that had her back against Ciroc, so why did she need Biggie to be there? Then Mariahlynn starts bringing up Biggie going to get her nails done with Kanaya and Ciroc, which Biggie didn't actually get her nails done. She was sitting there with Kanaya, and Kanaya told her last minute that Ciroc was going to be there, and Biggie felt immediately uncomfortable because she knew that she had a, restraining order against Ciroc. And again, this whole nail appointment thing was after Tasiki's friend already attacked Biggie, so I don't understand why Mariah is not paying attention to that fact. Mariah starts trying to blame Biggie for the reason why she's beefing with Ciroc in the first place. And it's like, we get it. The reason why you guys all jumped Ciroc last season was because she attacked Biggie. After that, whatever you guys did was your own beef that you had with Ciroc, and it had nothing to do with Biggie anymore. Mariahlynn has been going on social media talking shit about Ciroc, and that's why she's still beefing with her. Not to mention that Mariahlynn always has something to say every time Ciroc walks into a room, and she's the one who initiated beef with her when she threw the shoe at her. So I think it's crazy that Mariahlynn playing a victim. But this conversation between Biggie and Mariahlynn went nowhere. They basically walked away from each other, and Biggie said in her confessional that Mariahlynn is a hoe and she's still a hoe, so she needs to stop claiming that it was once upon a time. I'm not gonna lie, Biggie ate with that a little bit. That was funny. And the thing is, I'm not even a fan of Biggie. I've been very critical of Biggie over the years, but I'm not gonna say she's wrong in a situation that I don't feel like she's wrong in just because I don't really like her that much. But those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies USA. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.